me.
I'm sorry about the background, you guys. This is the best I can do. This is my mom's basement, okay?
I know it's like a little...
Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, I'm currently living in my mom's basement.
I'm a winner. I know.
I'm just living here until my house gets finished. So give me a break. And I need some more quiet. So this will have to do.
It puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again.
So this video is all about a full bath. There is a tub. So it's a full bath, just a tub, not a stand-up shower. The tub is actually ceramic. My mom's had it painted. So you might see a couple of like chips because it used to be like this really weird turquoise color, but it was painted. And so I don't use anything on it harsh. I just use Dawn dish soap. And she also has grout all up around the top of it, but she keeps her grout so clean that it really just needed a quick cleaning. So here is a full bath, and I hope you enjoy. So we're gonna start out by Swiffering. We go all around the top edges first, or at least I do. Some people just do the top of the wall on one wall, and then they do all of the rest of the things all the way to the floor. But I like to go around the whole ceiling first, and then once I get back to my starting place, then I start in on everything else from the ceiling all the way down to the baseboards. When dusting the light fixture parts, just be careful. Just remember that gentle is always the best approach to those because you never know how secure they are. Also, with light fixtures that are just light bulbs, Swiffer them very quickly because you don't know how hot they are. Sometimes that Swiffer can stick to the light bulb and then it causes this really weird smell. Also, all of the decor, my mom tends to have a bunch of decor, and you will see that as well as I do more of her house, but see how this thing just popped out. So just be really careful. I mean, I'm hanging on to the item with one hand and I'm dusting it with the other. That's the best you can do.
Shit happens, guys. I mean, I really don't even know what else to say, but
I shoved that sucker back in there as best as I could, and that's really all you can do. The key here is to always, when you are dusting something on the wall, one hand on that item and use the other hand to dust that item so that it stays as secure as possible. Really just anything that has even a little tiny horizontal surface you want to dust. You want to be as thorough as possible. Where the walls meet all the way down to the baseboards themselves, even that little tiny ledge right there on her little cabinet. Every little tiny area where dust could accumulate is what you're going for here. Yes, it's going to take time to really build that eye for that detail because not everybody has that. And when you're cleaning your own bathroom, you don't necessarily think about all these places. But I tell you what, when a client is paying you to clean their house, they're paying for a service that they don't absolutely need, they're going to be as picky as possible. So just always keep that in mind. Anything you can see. With dusting, you want to make sure that you do take your time and you go slow enough to the point where you're not missing things. And also just make sure that you're picking up everything and going underneath it. Make sure you've got a good grip on it. I typically do not ever wear gloves while I'm dusting anything because the gloves tend to make my hands more slippery. So to make sure that I have a good grip, see, even inside of these candles, that accumulates dust, so I'm dusting that out too. I'm also keeping an eye out for anything that I'm going to want to wet wipe when I get to the vanity. But the top of a Kleenex box, move the Kleenex box, move everything, and dust underneath. That is exactly what our clients are going to be looking for. When you get to the toilet area, the only thing I would dust is that top part, that very top ledge of the toilet. You don't want to dust anything below that because you have no idea where pee-pee might be. See how that I'm getting that? Those are so often missed, you guys, like the little ledges there. The baseboards, that just gets so dusty and
it really needs your attention.
I know this is your favorite part. Everybody loves blinds, right?
Alright, so once you've got them turned down like I do here, you'll see this action right here. That's what you want to do. And see how I'm using my other hand to help it? So I'm helping lift up the blinds too. If the Swiffer doesn't get the whole thing. And sometimes it's just like easier to have your hand help, but this is how you're going to dust blinds very, very thoroughly. If you do it any quicker than this or sloppier than this, you're going to miss sections and it'll be like super, super duper visible if you've missed a section. And then your clients are going to be like,
they didn't dust the blinds like at all.
okay, then don't forget about this part. You got to lift them blinds up so that you can dust that windowsill. And you are basically going to leave it that way because you are prepping the next step for glass cleaning. So you're making that accessible for yourself. Yep, I totally want you to dust things like the toilet paper holder. I really do. The shower curtain rods, everything. I know it's like being really excessive and maybe a bit anal, but you know, that's why we do the jobs that we're doing. You know, we got to do a better job than you would do at home. And if you're going to pay for a professional job, you're going to want it done professionally. You're going to want it to look professional. Am I right? So that's how you do.
And don't forget your baseboards, girl, okay? Because you really need to do that and get all that surface dust off. You see that I'm doing even the door hinges. It's all very, very important.
Lots of times there's cobwebs here where I'm getting right now, and so much accumulated dust on these door hinges. Like, I know you can't see the right angle right now, but them door hinges areas, man, they collect dust. So watch for that. Step dos. Press the lift away button, press the wand release button, put on your floor hero, and then you're ready. And step 2 is vacuuming the floors. Ensure that the floor hero is completely flat and suction to the floor. And then make sure that you are just extremely thorough. Like, see how I'm bending over just to get all the way under this cabinet because I know there's probably a lot of dust hiding under there. And yeah, you bet your buttons that a client's going to get on their hands and knees and look in that area after you leave. And then they're going to say,
They didn't wash the floor, like any of it.
sorry, I'm totally not trying to be a jerk about our clients because we do, for the most part, have really awesome clients. But sometimes they're so hard on us, you guys. We can thoroughly clean an entire surface and miss one little thing. And they're going to turn around and say that we didn't clean it at all. So you have no idea how many times I've gotten that comment from clients. And then they're like, I want a discount for that. Like, they didn't even clean the floors. When really you guys did. Maybe you just went too fast. Maybe you didn't get that ring around the toilet where pee accumulates or the back of the toilet enough. It could be a number of things with any task that we do. But the thing is we have to be as thorough as possible. This is an industry where detail is literally the most important thing. Detail comes before speed. It comes before everything. Just keep that in mind. Behind doors, huge dust accumulator right there. But just make sure that you're going to be like using that floor hero and suctioning it up everywhere to all the edges. And around toilets, do the very best you can. Yes, we're going to hand wash everything and we do a really thorough job behind the toilets especially, but just make sure that you are getting as much hair and dust as possible because it just makes it so much easier when you're washing the floor because the microfibers do not like to pick up dust or hair, girl. All right, and then step 3, it's glass cleaning. So some people do this before they even do step 1. Some people do this after they've got the vanity cleaned, and some people do it here where I'm doing it now. With glass cleaning, you have the ability to be flexible. It's just that you need to make sure it gets done with a clean white, okay? So however you want to do that, that's fine. Typically, I just say however your trainer is going to show you, do it the way they're going to show you so that it's just set in muscle memory. Also, you'll see that I put like a couple of strips of glass cleaner. I didn't use a shit ton of glass cleaner, okay? You need to use a good amount, but don't overdo it. Just use enough to where it's going to spread evenly. It's kind of like putting butter on toast, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to overdo it and you don't want to have too little. You want evenly coated. And so you want to use the right amount of product. And then also see how I am looking down. I'm crouching down. I'm looking at it from multiple angles, because when you're looking at the glass straight on, there's a lot of things that you don't see, versus when you crouch down and look at other angles, you'll see water spots you've missed and things. And then I go ahead and I just do the glass on, well, everywhere in the bathroom. So this little mirror, I'm going to glass clean it. I'm also going to end up taking it off of the vanity when I clean the vanity. But for now, I'm going to do the glass here and then everywhere else. One strip across each window, that should be enough product, and then make sure you're going into all 4 corners. Check the top part of the window too for like the little bug spots. They're usually worse in the summertime, but I also take this opportunity to wipe like the locks in that top part of the sill and the bottom part of the sill, because usually your white is partially damp by now from glass cleaner, so it'll take off any of those spots as well. And then don't forget little things that are below the eye level. I almost forgot this actually, and I inserted it here just so it was in the right spot, but I literally did not see this until after I got to washing floor. Right, step number 4, we're doing the shower. Okay, so I take everything off. I move this shower curtain. Some people like to fold it up and wrap it around the top, but I guess I've never done it that way, so I'm just used to just, you know, pushing it outside the tub and I'm good. Some stuff I will take out and just set on the vanity, like soap that might be wet or gross, you know? I don't really want to set that on the floor, I guess. So I set it on the vanity. But take out all the products. I'm going to take out this shower mat that she's got here, the towels and all that kind of stuff. Everybody say hi to Jimmy. He thinks he's getting in the tub. Okie doke, and then you're going to need your cup, Dawn dish soap, a blue scrubby, and a toothbrush. If you're cleaning a really nasty tub, like it's yellow or you can see like visible nastiness on there you're going to need to get off, then I would just say like go straight to using Comet instead of Dawn. But with my mom's shower, she really didn't need that. So you're just going to fill the cup. You're going to wet all of the walls first, and then I fill up the cup too and set it down in there so that when I need more water on my blue scrubby, I don't have to turn around and go to the faucet. I can just dip it in my cup. It just saves a little bit of time. Then you're going to want to pick a starting spot. So whoever's training you is going to show you like where they start. I would just do whatever they're doing, honestly. I just learned myself to just start at this back wall. You can really start at anywhere, but I would honestly suggest starting at the top and working your way to the bottom with whatever you're doing and whatever you're cleaning. Also, see how thorough that I'm being here. I mean, you want to scrub every little square inch into the corners. You want to scrub like even this soap dish that I have here. I'm even scrubbing the bottom of it, but you want to make sure that you're very thorough, because like I said, again, somebody's paying you to do this. They could do it themselves. So if they're going to pay you, they're obviously going to want you to do a job as close to perfect as possible. So you're going to go through and scrub all of the walls. Then obviously you're going to scrub the tub part. I ended up squatting here just to get this part, and because I'm pregnant and out of breath and squatting is like hard work for me, I am just gonna go and start the bottom of the tub too, even though I didn't get that other wall that's that the shower head is on. You'll see me get that too, but you want to just scrub everything super thoroughly. If you need more water in your cup, if you need more soap on your scrubby, get that whenever you feel you need it. You don't want your scrubby to be getting too dry. You don't want there to be too much soap on there, because then it'll be really hard to rinse off. So that's why I say like anywhere from like a dime to a nickel size is plenty of soap. I'm also going to be using a toothbrush. You guys are hearing Jimmy in the background, so you're going to have to bear with me for that too. Okay, I'm onto this other wall. So as far as like shower caddies go, you guys, like typically I don't take everything off of them.
I really don't even really want anything to do with shower caddies, but
I guess like the bottom tray where the soap sits, I might scrub that if I can do it without everything falling off of there. All I'm gonna say is don't feel the need to take everything off of that shower caddy if it's really freaking nasty. But here, this is as much attention as I'm giving this stupid shower caddy, and that's it. Probably going to end up seeing a lot of showers that have water spotting really bad on all these faucets and stuff. And most of it you're not going to be able to lift because that's water spots after like hundreds of showers that they never removed, okay? We're just here to scrub the germs off, okay? We're not here to get the water spots off. Just remember that. Don't forget your shower head. It's really easy to forget the shower head, I've noticed. You know, you gotta get it, because when you get in the shower, you look up, or at least I do. I look up and I see my shower head, so it'll be obvious if we don't get it. But for the shower head, for this little flat part here where the water comes out, definitely use a toothbrush like I'm doing here, because a blue scrubby will just get torn up on this thing, and you really need the bristles of the toothbrush to like get in there where the water comes out and really clean that stuff out. I would say if you're having trouble because there's a lot of buildup, use Comet.
Take 5. My baby wants a hug and a kissy. Oh, hi, Jimmy. Kiss, kisses, kisses. Okay, back to business.
But again, this is going to be another spot where you're going to have a lot of water spot buildup, calcium spot buildup that you're not going to be able to get rid of. So just do your best. And as you can see, I just demonstrated rinsing off that shower head too. Don't forget that. It will leave really nasty water spot and slimy soap scum everywhere, and it will look really, really bad. When you are rinsing all the walls, I would say every shower is going to be different, right? Different amount of product on there, sometimes different products, the different amount of soap scum that you remove, different surface that you're scrubbing. Look at it. If you're going to be spending a lot of time on the walls, like let's say it's your first time scrubbing this shower, then you're going to want to maybe just scrub 1 or 2 walls max at a time and then rinse them right away, because when that soap starts drying onto the shower surface, it's going to be very, very hard to rinse it clean, you know, without having to go over it a million times. So maybe just wash one wall, then rinse it, scrub the other wall, you know, whatever, it's up to you. But I was able to scrub this fast enough to the point where I could just scrub the whole shower quick and then rinse it. And that's what you'll be able to do with the bathrooms that we're cleaning like bi-weekly or weekly, because, you know, they're so well maintained. Okay, so here I saw like a yellow spot that a product was sitting on. And it made one of those weird yellow rings that I couldn't remove with Dawn dish soap. So I tried soft scrub, and I'm gonna soak it there for a little bit and see if that works, and we'll see. Meantime, while that's soaking, this is what I'm gonna do to the edges, because you know you can only rinse so far up with that cup of water. So there's gonna be like probably a 6-inch strip along the whole top of the shower where that soap scum and everything is gonna be there. So you're gonna wanna make sure you buff that out with a white. I go all around the edges, and I'm going to do the ledge of the tub and the outside of the tub as well. I'm just putting a couple things back and shining the fixtures while I wait for that soft scrub to really soak in on that ring. Now I just take my blue scrubby and go at it here and see if I can lift this up at all. And I don't think that I'm going to be able to. From what I remember, it didn't come up because I think that yellow ring actually is stained into the paint that the ceramic tub is painted with. So, but it's good to at least try. And that is all that matters. If you see something, try and get it with soft scrub. Try your hardest to lift whatever stains out that you can. Side note too, all of those products that I just put back, I'm facing them kind of like a hotel look. Face them labels out, place them really nicely, like, you know, you meant to do that, and it was super organized, right? Also, I'm realizing that I forgot to scrub this floor mat, which honestly, I would probably do it at this point anyways after I'd scrubbed the whole shower, but I'm just going to use a little bit of Dawn dish soap and then give it a quick scrub. Nothing crazy, and that's it. And then I just do my best to put everything back the same way that my mom had it, or any client of ours would have it, and fold it and really look nice, and look at how great everything looks. Then we're on to the vanity. So you're going to take off everything from the vanity. You're going to take your blue scrubby, and I usually only do like a dime size amount here because it's a way smaller surface that you're trying to cover. And then you are just going to scrub everything very thoroughly. So make sure that you're even getting all that, like that top ledge there, the side part, behind the faucet, and then I'm really gonna like go ham on the actual faucet just because so much buildup gets put there, you know, from every time you turn on and turn off the faucet with soapy or dirty hands or whatever. So make sure that you use that scrubby to go in between where the two hot and colds are, and to go underneath where the spout comes out, and all of that. And just make sure that you really fully scrub the entire vanity. See that top ledge, like it's so dusty back there. And oftentimes, if somebody's gonna forget something on a vanity, I usually think that they forget that part. And then make sure you get around that drain really good, obviously. And then once I am done scrubbing the vanity, I rinse out that blue scrubby totally, and then I take the sponge side of the scrubby, not the scrubby side, the sponge side. And now I'm just slopping up like the excess soap and water. You'll see all that stuff just go into the sink right there. So you're gonna just kind of like slop it in there, you know, like you're shoveling it in to the sink. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just going for like a majority of it, okay? I see a lot of people when they're first learning to clean bathrooms, they will way overdo this part and they'll be so overly concerned about it, and it's really not that big of a deal. Just get most of the slop and that's it. And then I fill the sponge with water. I go around the sides and it really helps drag those bubbles down into the drain. And then you're just going to dry everything off with your white. So everywhere that you scrubbed with your blue scrubby, that's where you're going to wipe with your white to make sure everything is really nice and dry. That faucet, you're going to want to detail, like buff out any water spots and streaks and things like that. You'll see I spend a little bit more time on this faucet too. I take the white and I just kind of like turn it sideways and wedge it in between, you know, the hot and cold and where the faucet, where it comes out. I really want to make sure that's super duper dry and shined. Now, typically we do not dry around the drains with a white. We don't do that at all, but I'm doing this because I noticed like a nasty ring around my mom's drain there, and I'm not getting any of that toilet bowl cleaner on the actual silver part of the drain because it could discolor it. You're just going to put a little bit on the outside and work it around with your finger, and you're only going to let it sit like 5-10 minutes or so, and that should remove it completely. So while that's soaking, I'm just going to wipe everything off with my damp white now because it should be damp enough. I'm going to put everything back on the vanity. You want to try and put things back exactly where you found them. I know that's not always possible, but just do your best that way because there are some clients who are finicky about that. Not many are, but you know, it does happen. So just try and remember where you put things. And then we're also going to wash these toothbrush holders out. Okay, so now I let it soak for I think like 5 minutes. So I just took a toothbrush to it here. Or you can take your blue scrubby as well if you want to, if you don't have this, but all caddies have a toothbrush in. So I would just say grab this if you can, but a lot of that yellow ring lifted right out. And then you're just gonna rinse it clean and that's it. You're not gonna have to do this every time you clean a bathroom. Sometimes you're just gonna notice that there's buildup there, you know, every once in a while if we clean regularly, or if it's a first time clean, maybe you're gonna notice and wanna do that. So just do it as needed. You don't have to do it every single time. And then just make sure the Lysol product gets fully rinsed down the drain. Okay, now back to the toothbrush holders and cup holders. What I will do too is I will keep these two things on the vanity while I'm scrubbing the entire vanity, and I'll scrub it all at once and I'll rinse it all at once. And I probably should have done that here. So
shame on me, okay?
you're just going to want to scrub these out because they get a lot of nasty buildup in the bottom of them, or the cups that people are drinking out of, you know, the lip rings and just,
Ugh.
so you're going to want to sanitize and clean all that stuff as well. Dawn dish soap will work great. Sometimes the toothbrush holders are super tiny openings, so you can't really get anything in there. Like a blue scrubby, you're going to have to use a toothbrush and just do your best. I don't expect those to be perfect, just as long as we did them, you know what I'm saying?
We did them and you did your best, and that's what matters.
And then you're just going to dry them off like you would anything else on the vanity, and you're going to prop those back up where they were. They have little labels on them, so I always like to face the labels. I think it says like brush and water or something on it. So you're going to want to just face any labels, make everything look real cutesy, you know what I'm saying? Make it look all like hotel type of feel. I'm getting rid of the stuff I don't need, so that blue scrubby I'll get rid of. Basket that's on there, that's going to go back. And then I just wiped off like a little water spot that I saw on the mirror. So just check for that after you wipe the vanity. If you'd already done the mirror, I always check for water spots because sometimes I splash up water, but that damp white that you have in your hand will take care of that, no problem. And then here's a towel folding. So we're going to fold it in half, then you're going to make a square, then you fold 2 triangles, and it's really, really simple.
It's just so beautiful, girl. Like,
I'm gonna show you again. Instant replay. Here we go. And then you can't do this if it's still a rectangle. So you're gonna wanna make it a square. So then I fold in a little piece for a square. And then I'm folding a triangle and then triangle. Now when you're doing like a washcloth or something that's already a square, just go straight to the triangle folds. And then you can do like 3 triangles and it's this cute little triangle and you can prop it up. And then my white is gonna be damp enough at this point to wipe off the cabinet facings, and it's going to be damp enough to pick up all the toothpaste and dust that's matted on there. Anything that could possibly be on there, you're going to want to just pick it up with this damp white. And I just want to note here that if you can't get to the top ledge of certain drawers, pull them open a little bit to get to that top ledge, and you'll see me do that here as well. All right, and then this is the point where I take my damp white and I wipe down everything else in the bathroom that might still be claiming dust, you know, even after I Swiffered it. So everything you're seeing here, light switches, the toilet paper holder, all of that stuff gets so dusty. I think I noticed like more dust that wasn't coming up with the Swiffer, so I made a note to wipe that as well. And these handles, hi Jimmy. And now we have come to the toilet. So when you put in your toilet bowl cleaner, that is all the toilet bowl cleaner you need, girl. You don't need to go all the way around because it's honestly just a waste of product, especially for houses that we're in bi-weekly or weekly, some even monthly. There's some bathrooms that they don't use that often, so you just don't need that much product. So really like work on product control here. A half a circle, sometimes even a quarter of a circle is all you need. And then the other thing I want you to note is how I'm shoving that toilet brush underneath the lip inside the toilet, like that rim underneath. You have to shove the brush and scrub under there too, because all that nasty buildup, girl. I'm replaying this little part right here because what I didn't explain was see how I take this toilet brush holder and I dump out the excess water. See that?
hey, look, I'm not in the Silence of the Lambs basement anymore.
So you want to dump that water out because if you think about it, every time you clean a toilet, right, you put the brush back in the container and like whatever water's left on that little brush, it just drips down to the bottom of the toilet brush holder. Ew, it accumulates after a while. Could you guys even imagine spilling it? Like, ew. So just make sure you like give it a little
Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
you know, when you're doing every single one of them toilets. And then you go to the sanitation part. You
Always, always, always.
start from top and work your way to the bottom. Do not ever start like under the lid or in some place where like pee and pubes and stuff accumulate. You're always going to start from the top of the toilet, get the handle, then go here where you're like your booty sits, you know what I'm saying? And like wipe it that way. And typically I end up going through like anywhere from 1 to 3 Clorox wipes per toilet. It just kind of depends on how dirty it is, but my mom keeps her shit real clean, you know what I'm saying? So, but you see those little parts right there where I'm going and scrubbing? You can't really see. It was like kind of a bad angle to tape it at, but that's where stuff accumulates, where the seat like locks onto the rest of the toilet bowl. So, and then you're gonna go to the base, make sure you're wiping the whole base. People that pee in toilets tend to miss the toilets and then pee drains, and if there's not pee, there's still a bunch of dust and nastiness. Getting the base of the toilets is like super important, and I have had a handful of clients complain if that part isn't done. And then you're gonna dry this, okay? You're gonna dry it with your white, and then after this, your white is gonna go to the like rag bag. But the key is here, do the same order, okay? So top to bottom. So you're gonna sanitize from top to bottom, and you're gonna dry from top to bottom. And the reason why we're going to dry it instead of not just letting it like air dry is 1, Clorox wipes tend to dry with water spotting, so it doesn't really look all buffed and shined. 2, Clorox wipes do not pick up dust. The white terry cloth do. You can Clorox something all day long and try to pick up dust, and it's just not going to work. So do not use the Clorox with the intention of picking dust up off the toilet. That is what the white is for. And thirdly, you really don't want the client, if the client's home, going into the bathroom right after you're done cleaning it and sitting on a wet, slimy toilet seat because there's still wet Clorox wipe on it.
I wouldn't want to sit on a wet, slimy Clorox seat.
And then for toilet paper, we do a triangle fold for that too. So I ripped off that little tiny excess piece so it didn't mess up my fold. And then you're just going to fold underneath. So I kind of stand at a weird angle so I can do like the folding underneath with my hands and be able to work my brain right. but you're just gonna fold it and make a triangle and kind of like roll it back up, and then I just like push it, you know, onto the rest of the roll so it kind of stays put, and that's it. Girl, we on the home stretch. Now it's just washing floors. So you're going to take your yellow, get it wet with hot water, and then you're going to kind of wring it out. When you put that nozzle in there, hold the nozzle inside and wrap the rag around it, please, because when you're spraying it and you're holding it away from the rag, you're not getting all of the product in the rag. You're getting a lot of it in the air. Or same thing if you were to just spray it on the floor. You're wasting a lot of product, actually. And not only that, but can kind of hurt your lungs if you spray it a bunch and then you're breathing it in. My lungs are really sensitive to stuff like that. So fold the microfiber in half, okay? And then you're just basically gonna start from like the back wall of the room and like work your way out towards the door. Make sure that you are getting behind the toilet very well. The baseboards where the water connects to the wall, you're gonna wipe that off. Her heat register, the baseboard part of her little like cabinet that sits over the toilet, all of that, you guys. And this ring around the toilet here, this caulking, this is a major complaint area. So the back of the toilet's not getting like washed thoroughly enough on the floors, the baseboard area, and the ring around the toilet where the caulking is. If I'm gonna get a complaint about a toilet, 90% of the time, that is what it's gonna be from, girl. So we gotta make sure that we are really thorough, because anybody can clean their own toilet and just do a really quick clean. A lot of people want to pay us to do what I just showed you to do because they don't want to do that part. So if we don't do it and they notice we don't do it, you bet your buttons they're going to complain about it. And with the caulking part around the base of the toilet, I just wedge my yellow right up against it and put good pressure on it. Don't just give it a little like, you know, light wiping. You can't do that when you're washing floors, period. You have to make sure you're putting enough pressure on that microfiber to actually pull stains and spots off the floor, you know? So if you're just gonna give it a really quick wipe, you might as well not even wash it, you know? That's like the quality that a homeowner would wash their own floor in. Corners of floors are also a really big deal to me personally, especially when I'm walking through and checking a house that somebody had just cleaned. I'm gonna look in the corners of the floors to see if you took a little chunk of the microfiber and wedged it in there and kind of worked it back and forth to get out all of the dirt that sits in the corners. Like I said before, any homeowner can give their floor a quick wash, and they don't really like detail the corners and stuff. That's why they're paying us. And while I'm at this angle, I'm keeping an eye too on other parts that I might have not seen needed washing. Like the side of this, I noticed it when I'm on all fours, but I don't notice it when I'm standing. So make sure that, you know, you're going in them corners really well, you're getting the baseboards, and you're really doing a thorough job. I tend to peek at the doors and the walls while I'm washing floors, you know, 2 feet down or whatever, just to see if there's any spots that I might be able to remove.
So my mom didn't really have like the best example of, you know, fingerprints and spots and whatever on her floor and her walls, but she doesn't have little kids running around, you know, in there all the time, like a lot of the families do that we clean for. So just keep that in mind. Always be watching, you know, the walls, be glancing at the walls while you're washing the floor. It's kind of a multitasking thing that we do. And especially things like lighter colored walls, white trim, white doors, right around the door handle part, or like kid height, you know what I'm saying? You'll see all sorts of shit on the door. So just make sure that, you know, you're keeping an eye out for that too, and we're wiping off any extra stuff that you see that, for instance, if you were paying a cleaning company to clean your house, would you expect them to remove those things, you know? So that is really how we do an efficient and thorough job cleaning. Anyways, side note, you guys have no freaking idea how many times I cut out myself saying,
so, and, like...
Holy shit, I have a problem. Okay, bye!